What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today we're gonna be looking at a button versus big blind at 40 big blind. Let's see how it goes. Queen four, I'm not sure about this. Maybe we're gonna edit the hand quickly. Just to trim out a little bit, right?
Yeah, just take out the trashiest of the trash.
Like this. There we go. So raise.
Easy peasy. Alright. 9-2-4 two-tone. I kinda like a bet here.
Definitely. Two or one?
Yeah, I would go
Two?
small. I don't really do too much of
The
the
one?
one sizing. So,
Every time it offers that, it seems like it's usually that though. Yes, it's-
it's definitely a viable option.
Yeah. He calls. This doesn't change much. Not sure if I
Did
would
it
bet
did
it.
it did it check more because we didn't have much straight interaction?
I think it's for the
think?
reasons Peter has been mentioning
Yeah.
earlier today. It's gonna protect
That's
some of
what-
that checking range with your worse ace X. And,
Yeah.
the nature of the board is gonna push that around the 6, the 7. This 8 brings in the backdoor flush. We interact with the 7, well, the 7 interacts with the 8 and the 9. We have the spade blocker.
I'm not
The
going.
only thing,
there. Are you?
I'm just kinda playing devil's advocate in my mind. I
I
don't
think we
like-
check again.
I don't like necessarily bluffing with the ace high here is the only thing. So I think for that reason, I would probably check.
I mean, like, I don't think equities change very much here. So like whatever he calls with on the flop still has equity or improves. So it's like, yeah. Never a check.
It goes big.
Why is that?
I think it's because our 7 interacts with the 8 and the 9. We have the backdoor flush. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the range is going pretty big, which is crazy.
Okay, so on the turn, seems like the 8 is a great card for us.
Oh, I get it. So when the 8 turns, all of our hands that were bluffing with 2 overs to the 9 picked up a ton of equity.
Yep,
Right,
that makes
our-
sense to me.
All of a sudden our Jack 10 and our 10 queen all got there. Right.
Okay, yeah, okay. It helps,
our-
it improves this part of our range a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right, which the 8 is, our 8 or the 7 that we have is pretty relevant too, I guess.
Yeah. Like if we were bluffing with 76, we improved. If we bluffed with 9-10, we improved. So even though it doesn't help our specific hand, a lot of our range got there. So that's why it's going bananas.
That makes a lot of sense. I like how you explained that. Mm.
Oh, the one big blind blocker.
So well,
One
I
big
think we
blind.
need to go back here and. So, okay, we blasted.
I like blasting. Mhm.
No, we actually are gonna overbet it. Ooh, when was the last time you found an overbet here with this type? of-
Never.
So I'm only finding that overbet if I hold the ace of hearts in my hand.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I was checking flop unless if I had the ace of spades, 7x, I would have see bet. I was checking this flop too, so.
10
So-
jack of spades, 10 jack of hearts, I'm making that bet with.
Yep.
6, 7 of, hearts, 6, 7 of spades, probably doing the same thing.
Yeah, I've been finding that lately too, when the turn comes a flush.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been doing those overbets and they've been working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with ace 7, like I'm only finding it with the ace of hearts.
he calls again and now here we are.
I wonder, okay, so the jack, we are blocking some of the straights here now. Both of the flush draws break. I mean. Do you go for it here?
Are you
I
trying
don't
to scare a 9 here?
Nope, we checked because our ace high has showdown on the river against his flush draws that missed.
I'm kinda with you, Pete.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like bluffing ace high. I really don't. But,
We're not meant to. We
there's
know
a lot
this,
of
so I
marginal
think I'm with
hands.
Pete.
Well, there's a lot of marginal hands here that we could probably, get folds from at this point. I don't know.
But we're not supposed to bluff ace. We're better off bluffing king high here.
I think once we over bet turn and he calls, the gig is up.
Yeah, kind of with you.
No.
Nope. It wants to
Oh,
go. The
Yep.
seven's too good.
it's
Line
time.
up the football on the 30-yard line.
And it's,
So
and
why
like,
do we go
look at that.
for it?
You know, they never call a turn and over bet with the deuce. This guy's just something over. Queen four.
Why do we
that's-
bluff with ace high on the river there?
I think it's the nature of the board, Barry, how it runs out.
Right.
He's gonna have a lot of pairs. So like, our bluff range is gonna shift.
Yeah, so remember how how we were talking about when the 9 and the 8 turned, all of a sudden our hand that had 10 queen and 10 jack picked up equity. When the jack comes on the river, it completes our queen 10 straight and when the jack comes, it gives us the new top pair. So both of those hands would want to go all in. So enough of our bluffs got there in the range that our range wants to just go for it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you just kinda show this down at this point. You got a good bluff catcher.
Disagree here. I would block.
Yeah, it may be a good block, maybe. I don't hate it, to be honest.
Let's try to scan this guy.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Oh, how do you like getting scammed?
All in.
Ah, that's unfair.
Yeah, but your scams don't seem to work very often.
Did they not, Pete? Did they not, Barry?
Raise, 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 raise.
You got me.
I'm never, 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 never on earth ever folding that hand on the button.
I'm not playing this, honestly.
5-4 suited,
Yeah, 5-4 plays.
6-4, 6-4, 5-4, 6-4,
What?
How about 5-3?
5-3?
5-3 some.
Low frequency raise, high frequency call.
You guys belong in a
I bet you
Lethal
want to
Weapon
free bet
movie.
this,
You
Louis,
guys are all
don't you?
loose cannons.
See, I'm not with you.
Yeah, I've been
bad
three
for
betting
Me,
it
it's always
more.
raising.
Yeah, I've been raising a lot more too, just because I don't want to be out of position with queen jack off.
20%. Let's go. Small pair board.
It's a brick board. It's a brick board. You're gonna see bet it.
Yeah,
C-bet 3-bet C-bet.
can even size up here because we're gonna mimic what like pocket jacks and pocket queens want to do, I think.
Yep. I like the card matching.
Oh,
You gotta
well.
let it go. The jig is up. We got ace
Jerk.
9. We got ace 9.
We got ace
We got-
9.
That jerk is not even, I mean, that's a marginal defend. At best.
Seriously,
It's bottom
call.
of range.
The
Turns it into a
raise.
bluff.
I
on the
feel
flop.
like putting a clown picture next to his name.
Raise.
This is 50%, 50% raise. not with the
So,
clubs.
what makes you guys
Oh.
wanna, hold on, slow down. What makes you guys wanna raise this combo in this?
This is a
range?
Cause
clear
it's the
call for me.
triangle versus the button. I guess, does it have to
I
be
do,
over
'cause-
40?
No, this is a clear call.
I will raise because it's under his opening. He wants to go- he's
So,
opening
these suited connectors go up in value as we get deeper. I think if you go to like 80, you'll see this raise.
60 is in there for sure.
Certainly there at 100.
It's in
Yeah,
there
I'm
at 100 for
I'm
sure.
Yeah, at
raising
100,
his-
it's 25%. It's
60, we're too
50%.
short here, too short. Cause at 40, doesn't do that at all.
It's not raising right now?
Nope.
No,
40.
Nah,
but at 60 it is.
Okay, yeah, I normally raise it.
I raise it 50% of the time if it's spades or hearts.
at this stack depth, raising the suited connectors there's not enough left behind for when he calls to make it a profitable raise.
Correct. Right. It's gonna be too difficult to realize equity, right?
Yeah,
Alright, so we raise. You could jam that at some point, no? No.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
King jack suited.
just call.
Oh, calm
You almost-
down,
you
you,
almost called-
calm
you left me out.
down. Calm down, you divas. You over here, you guys are like freaking out over 7-6 and I want a 4-bet jam king jack and it's the end of the world.
Yeah. It's not ace deuce here.
King jack.
By
king 10 does it.
the way,
It's
take a
not
look at
like
king
pocket
10.
fours.
Take a look at king 10.
And
Yeah, I'm
king
surprised
jack.
king tens in
King
there.
10
too.
and
I
queen
love
jack,
queen
both.
jack. I thought all the suited broadways called.
Well, yeah, they mostly do.
You know what? I dare you to find king 10 today or tomorrow.
I would,
I dare you.
I mean,
still
what do
a
you think? What do you think? I'm
4-bet
pulling the
jam
king
it.
j- You
Tell
think
me
I'm pulling
about
Still
the
a
it.
small percentage.
You know what? 4-bet jam it and send me the hand history.
I hate to
Boom.
tell you this, Louis, but I'm not pulling these out of like, out of my back pocket.
I
man.
know, I know.
they're in my
You're not gonna
database.
do it. You're not gonna
They're-
do it.
They're in my database, man. I can't help it.
I know deep with
This is
it,
a small percentage anyway.
you're still in it, Galen.
So what's interesting to me
40
is
big
I'd like,
blind, you can four-bet jam
I
king
would like-
jack, queen jack
I would-
suited.
I would like to compare this range to say 50% of the field left and see if it blasts those suited combos.
I can look at that for you right now. I actually can.
Cause I think that's where it's gonna tighten up at this, like, if you have like half the field left, I think it's probably gonna wanna tighten up there.
I like where your thoughts are and I will investigate for us. Okay, so 50% of the field left, 40 effective versus a 3-bet. Where on the button facing big blind? You wanna hear something hilarious, Ken? King,
Yeah,
king, jack suited, full frequency, king 10 suited,
You can't
full
say it.
frequency.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll share.
I'm pretty sure
Alright.
too. I studied this
Alright.
with the other group.
so this wants to jam more when we're, starting to get in some bits of ICM.
Yeah, that's, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Okay, 50% of the field. You're seeing the same like regions of hands wake up, right? So you got the little pairs, you got your,
We're echoing.
yeah, the echoing is gonna kill me.
So some of the
Um,
offsuit broadways move to a call.
Yeah, they disappear, right? Like you lose some of that. And, some of these suited broadways become a little more popular. So looks like you're taking away from some of the offsuit stuff here and kind of filling it in over here.
Yep.
As ICM intensifies. So since we're here, we'll take a look versus 3-bet button, big blind. 25% of the field. You're really starting to prioritize blockers. King, jack, by the way.
Yep.
Still in their full frequency. I'm just gonna point that out the whole way down.
Good.
10% of the field left versus 3-bet since
So we're in the
here.
money now.
This is right after the money bubble burst. Yep, you're right. And boom, okay, so now it's kind of shifted. You really want the ace X.
No more king jack suited.
No, it's not. It's out of there, right? Like, it's gone. It's gone. My heart is broken. Okay,
All right,
Broken
final table.
heart.
Final table.
I like
fine.
comparing these heuristics, cause it does matter, I think.
It does matter. These are all asymmetrical, so I mean,
Just
Make it
Final,
that way.
an equal stack.
we
that
gotta go
what-
to 6. We can go to 6 and we can look at 30 equal. How about that?
Yes.
No, we want to have 40.
Yeah, I don't know if they have 40 unless
No,
you
we
guys
won't
see
know
it.
where we have 40. They don't have to be equal at 40. We have 40. Just find one.
No,
more.
no, 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 no. We want equal because if it's not equal, like stack distribution.
That's equal.
change
That's
everything.
equal enough. For,
No, it's not because there's a 10 big blind stack and your hands are tied.
all right, fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to behave
We're
here.
done with
Well,
this.
that's only with 10% if you looked at it with.
But
it's
40 or
there.
50%,
Go to the
whatever.
one with 50, 50, 30, 30, 30, 30. Down towards
Say
the bottom.
when, say
There.
when.
Whoa, down 3. Down 3, there. Up 1. Up 1.
This one,
there.
50, this is 30, 30, 30. I got you.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you don't even really have a calling range.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, you bluffing me, I'm a bluffing you. I'm all in.
And this is final table.
And then
Yeah,
you show
yeah.
kings and you
Yeah.
finish 8th place.
And then, yeah, and then you
You're left
say,
thinking about what went wrong.
then you say, good game. I bluffed all my chips off.
Oh. Okay. I'll call.
He checks. This is kind of worrisome.
No, I'm punishing him.
I'm realizing I'm checking.
I would
Yeah,
check
check.
here too, just cuz I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah, I wanna
It's a-
see
like
another
I-
card. I wanna see another card. I don't wanna get blown off of this. I don't wanna
So-
get raised.
No,
My
no, this guy,
question-
this guy wants to play ball. So we said, sure, we play ball. We have flop interaction here.
You do.
But you
What
have
do you
to
do
can
someone-
we
versus a,
check?
I'm
what do you
just
do versus
checking.
check jam?
Yeah, I'm
What do
just
you do versus
checking.
check? So versus
Louis,
We
check-
have to
You have
check.
to fold.
I
Indian.
grumba. I
Louis.
get it. I get it.
Louis, Jonathan mentioned this in the thing,
Gotta
40
check.
big blinds, you don't wanna bluff your better
Your high equity bluffs.
draws because if he shoves, then it's a hard call or it's almost a forced call that you don't really wanna make.
Right, right.
Yeah, if we had a gut shot, I think we bet, but because we're open-ended, we could just see a turn.
Yep, that's what we learned this morning.
It's a low stack to pot ratio in a free bet pot. We want to realize our equity here.
This is
How
what
about we do a king, jack of
Okay.
hearts? Is that more of a bet?
oh, this
for
is-
you
Hey,
guys?
how about we figure this out? What do we do if we bet and he jams? What do you do with this hand?
I think we have to
Um,
call.
Man, that's a
Call.
tough one.
We
man.
have
Gotta
to call.
call.
You hate callings.
Yeah, I don't,
No, you-
I'm
Do
100%
it.
checking here.
You have to fold
Folding.
because he's blocking your outs.
Yeah, I'm folding. I bet he rips. I fold. It's fine.
Oh
right?
my
People say-
word.
It's supposed to
Which is
You're
check.
throwing
why-
away so much equity, Louis. If
Which
you-
is why you want to check.
Exploit, Louis, what
Yeah,
you're doing.
check.
You only gotta
Check.
be, you only gotta win like 30% of the time. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it might be.
You
Your
gotta
equity's not that
call,
good.
you gotta call this stack depth. There's no way if he jams here that you're folding this
What
hand.
was it? I didn't see it. Was it a
He
check?
just called.
It was a check.
It was,
It was
it was okay with the bet.
It was mixed frequencies. It's like 50-50.
Oh, was it?
Close mixed.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so
But-
give it a check jam and watch it fold this king jack.
I don't have it in my heart, Pete.
It's gonna snap fold it because the problem is your outs are polluted by the fact that he has some spades draws that do this that have equity here as well.
Right.
And
Ouch.
when he has a value hand, it blocks our straight completers.
Yeah,
can't
the
let
other
it go,
hand,
Pete.
he
can't
beats
let it
on,
go.
So look at the general strategy.
draws.
60% just betting small here.
King jack.
Yeah, betting small is reasonable for sure.
Okay,
So
I
say
like
we bet
betting.
small and then he
jams.
He piles in your face.
piles in
all
my
of it.
face.
It's just not gonna do it, boys. I don't care. You got too
No.
much in there. You got
call-
too
we
much in
call it.
there.
Yeah. You don't wanna call, but you're forced to call.
See, you're not really forced to call at all.
It's zero EV, yeah,
If
so.
we look at it, if you have the front door flush or the back door flush, you have a very high frequency call. And then
Mhm.
if you don't have the suits,
Let him go.
mixing calls and folds, the call is zero EV here. So for me, it's very clear. You bet and then you fold if he shoves.
So I got a question. Would you rather zero EV with a guaranteed 20 big blinds, or would you rather zero EV with a sometimes 80 big blinds and sometimes 0 big blinds?
I mean,
Me, I like sometimes 80 big blinds and 0.
alright, so you are a fan of checking here, right?
I think it's
I'm
good
kinda
to
checking
split
as
your
well.
checking range with the hands that wanna bet fold, just check, and the hands that can bet call off, bet.
So.
Yeah, I think
in a
it's-
few words.
I think if we have a backdoor, even if we have the backdoor flush draw with this, I'd rather bet, cause then it's a
Yeah.
slightly better call.
Yeah, the
To the
hearts can
shove.
bet.
So
Yeah, that
in-
makes a
in
little more
few
sense.
words, Galen, how do you structure your strategy on this board?
I've had my hands burnt. I've had my hands burnt too many times by the sneaky 3-bet check line. And I
Okay,
just don't want them burnt anymore. So I'm probably checking.
how often is he
Uh,
checking anything on this texture? Like
And
never.
you're in position too. I mean, why not just check and see a card? You know what I mean?
So
It's-
it's 50% of the time is what he's supposed to be doing? Is that what we were looking at?
What is this range?
That's his
It's
3-bet range.
over. It's strong hand, so it's like, it sets.
Wait, small blind isn't 3-betting queen 6 off.
It's not a
What
small
are you
blind range.
talking
It's a,
about, Ken? You
Big
were
blind.
playing a 3-bet pot against the big blind.
Oh, it's big
it's a
blind.
big blind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, you have your hand burned. I'm sure,
And it
but
hurts. It hurts.
I'm sure, but.
Yeah,
he's-
but Louis, click on the king jack suited.
Yeah, you wanna bet more with the back door, but you're
Yeah,
still,
we covered this. Yeah.
you're
the-
still, how, for me. How are you gonna structure your strategy in a simple manner if you check a hand like king jack here?
Well,
For me, it's not how, so I'm asking you guys that wanna check, how do you structure your?
For me, I check high equity hands.
It would be a high equity draw,
Draws.
so I would probably
High
check it.
equity draw, I check.
Yeah.
Unless it's very high equity, then I bet and can call off.
Like if I had,
right.
I had
King
a
jack is
spade-
just on the cost of call off or not, so it's
yeah,
whatever.
I guess the
not
way I would
call- I'm
think
not
about it
calling off.
is.
if I bet, if I bet and then they go all in, I'm not calling off there.
So yeah,
Well,
in
then-
this spot, like I have hands like
That's why I'm
8,
checking.
9 and jack 9 that are bet folds to jams. And
Yeah.
king jack is just too good because it's the top end straight. I want to realize
Yeah.
the equity with that one. So that one for me is going to be a check on the flop.
Dude, yeah.
I think it's smart, Pete. I kind of work through this spot in my mind. The same way I work through the decision tree if I choose to 3-bet. So like. Hands that I'm probably not gonna be 3-betting here a lot would be hands that have to 3-bet folds that are
It,
strong.
it also depends. If I'm playing live, I would bet this.
Yeah, but that's an exploit then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the exploits here, thinking about his. How often do we expect him to just 3-bet? 3-bet pre and then check fold to our small bet on the flop?
Very often,
it happens,
It
but
happens. There are enough players need that only check the bad
Well,
hand.
What are the likely types of hands that he's gonna have the 3-bet check? If he's
ace
playing
high.
jacks,
a whole bunch of times.
9s, 8s.
I don't think.
King
we
jack
can
Everything that
off.
blocks
summon-
our range.
I don't think like summarizing off of
All
these
pairs.
combos is very useful, honestly. He's checking 50% of the time.
Yep, a lot.
So it's like half of his range, everything here is mixing.
That's not what most players do.
Yeah.
Pocket ace
Well,
I'm
I
talking
check.
about against- I'm not talking about against the solver. I'm talking against our
So the
players.
only thing I'm asking you guys is, once it's checked to us, how do you summarize your strategy in an easy manner?
So an easy manner would
Yeah.
be, I'm protecting my marginal value here. So like ace
Yeah, but
high.
that's not good. As we see here, there's plenty of betting with the hand like king jack.
No, well, when I say, marginal
Value, he
value,
means a pair, I
I'm,
assume.
I'm, I'm speaking like, your bricky ace highs, like your ace highs
Yeah.
that don't have pairs. That I could potentially take to showdown. And, at this specific SPR where the response is very high frequency jam. Probably like my strong draws that are gonna be put in the box. Like, it's often like, like there, you see a lot of arrangements at 40 big blinds where you don't 3-bet ace queen suited because the response versus a 4-bet is just, you're in the box.
Miserable.
It's a very miserable spot. I think you see some of the same stuff with like your high equity draws here.
I
Like, if
see
you
a
don't have the
little
back-
pattern. If you look at the A side, all the low wheels kind of wanna bet, and all the higher ones are checking a little bit more.
I can
Right.
tell you, I'm not finding bluffs with king 4, king 5, king 6, ace 5 off. 6-5 suited, like, I'm not finding a lot of bluffs here.
Also, think about it.
In my calling
10,
range,
7.
of 3-bet range even.
Well,
so.
think about it like what, Louis says, okay? So where do we get, where is his ace high bluffs coming from? It's gonna be ace 10, ace 9, maybe a little ace 8. Right? So betting worse ace X, getting better ones to fold is kind of the motion there.
It
I would
seems
think.
like it really wants to, it has something to do with the 8x.
They have good
Well, if you-
connectivity.
Is it
Yeah.
because it's the bottom of the range or is it because it's the card between here?
I would say it's probably its interaction with the board.
It's jack 8 and 9-8, and the other ones are pairs or ace.
Plus any hand with an 8 is
I know,
probably
king eight
one of our worst combos to bluff as well, right?
So you
Because like
basically
Peter
here,
said,
and what about like flushes? Let's look at.
Yeah, you bet.
Backdoor
So like, I'm not
flushes.
finding these very low equity bluffs in 3-bet pots is what I'm concluding for myself.
Check, bet. And then check the low ones. Okay, and then what about the front door? Same pattern, check the high ones, bet the low ones. And check the worst, same pattern, and then. Okay, back to the strategy. So this part of the deck wants to check, this part of the deck wants to bet, makes sense. The king eye wants to bet a lot, especially the ones with the backdoor flush. Is that what I see? No, because a hand like king 4 spades there is betting the least.
Yeah, but it's
And then
These
it's
are the ones I'm
mostly
not loving.
constructed like cards between the 10 and the 7, so 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 10x. And then everything that has equity basically, right? And you check sets,
you check a lot of jack 10 and king 10.
sets and your best ace size. Alright,
Yeah,
so here you check sets and your best ace size. And you bet pretty much everything else, right?
yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah,
So,
second pair you don't bet. No.
now
Well,
on-
you,
so on the turn, after we bet call, we have this type of hand. This did not improve our equity. And
I like
now it's a
checking.
spot, yeah, now,
It's a brick.
oh, barrels a little bit sometimes.
I mean, you can
Correct.
bet or you can check, but check is definitely not the
But
wrong
look at the
answer.
sizing as well, 7 into 30. I mean, it's very timid in betting here. Okay, we'll live with that. I'm fine with.
Yep, show it down. He's gonna show you a 10 here a lot, yeah?
Yeah, it wants to abuse a little bit here. Yeah. it
Maybe
wants
we
to
want,
abuse
I
the
got
10.
70% of the daily 10 in 15 minutes starting. I need to sell 50%, but just to let you know.
The daily 10.
Are you trying to sell action in the study group?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I was thinking, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have mentioned it. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna do a Juan?
No
I'm not.
solicitations.
No more Juan, huh?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, but if you deposit to this new site, I'll give you $25 for putting your credit card right now.
Yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't have mentioned here, so I apologize. I should have done Discord. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's all
I-
good.
I
Worry
almost
about
fell for that.
So
It's
that's
all
all.
good.
What was that Friday? Make it Friday.
Oh, no, we got raised.
You gotta let it go, man.
Fold,
Easy fold.
just fold.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you had us, I think.
Alright,
Raise,
bet.
you bet.
I would like to wager 2.3 big blinds.
That's a fine number.
And now,
Oh,
what do you
but
say?
not
I
40.
mean,
I would like to give up.
Fold.
So my
uh,
question to
wager,
you
Don.
here, Galen, is what's your offsuit ace-6 calling range? Do you call,
boys,
do you
Queen.
call with ace jack off?
No,
Yes or no?
I think, the solver does.
No, no, I'm
me?
asking you.
I draw the line at ace queen off, ace jack suited, I
You-
think personally.
You
And I think
call
that's a
off
pip
ace
tighter.
queen here.
I do,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a pip tighter. I think that's a pip tighter than what the solver does. I
I'm
think
calling it.
solver,
Where do you stand with pocket three?
no, can't do
Fold.
pocket threes.
Pocket
You're behind a
four.
lot of,
Oh,
I'm
Seven.
drawing the
Pocket
line at
five.
like pocket sevens, maybe sixes.
Sevens.
Okay, okay. And what do
I'm
you do
calling.
with ace 10 suited?
I think solver calls, I fold. I'm not
Snap.
calling 40.
What about king,
Call.
queen
No.
suited?
Never
Call.
calling, I'm not, nope. You're
Guys are
unblocking his
nuts.
bluffs. Dude, you're unblocking his bluffs. You're unblocking the bluffs. And
Okay,
Ken, I know how you play 3-bet pots. You can't sit here and call us nits because we're not running all of our equity pre-flop.
yeah, we know how you play, Ken.
Oh, I run it easier pre-flop. I'm ace 10 off. I'm like ace 9 suited. King, queen suited, king, jack suited.
Oh
Five.
So-
my goodness.
So
Oh
that's the
my
calling range.
goodness. Pocket four. Look at pocket four.
Look at it. No, 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 no. Look at king 10 suited. That's the suited. Look at, oh, yeah, yeah, right.
I'm not fine
Yeah,
with that.
Ah, I asked
Yeah,
for this
right.
one.
Yeah, right.
3 pips in.
Maybe I'm
3
too tight.
pips in on the suited aces. 3 pips in. What a net.
Hey, as long as you're finding the folds with queen jack suited and, the calls with queen 10 suited, I'll be happy.
And you can be tighter later in the game as well, right? You can tighten up a pip here and there as the game gets deeper, obviously.
Alright. Now let's talk a little bit. Let's look at the EV.
Well, his only jams here are like nines and less and offsuit ace queen and less. That's it.
So
That's
if you
all
go
they
10,
jam. At 40 bigs, that's like all they jam.
Louis, is there a way to show the board real quick again? I had to get up for a minute.
See?
Yeah, there's no board yet.
Oh,
it's just pre-flop. We're looking at
Yeah.
what you're calling off a 40 big blind jam with. And, I think the
okay.
profitability of those suited Broadway cards is heavily dictated on if they're finding these pairs. If they're not jamming the pairs here at the frequency it's showing, I think, we get a lot tighter on the upper end.
Yeah, if your opponent is never shoving king 6, you might not want to call him off with like king 10 suited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little
Yeah.
marginal at the point, right?
And I
He found
don't
king
think,
7
the-
though.
I don't think the population is shoving threes and fours and
They ain't shoving
I'm-
king 7 off.
I'm all
Well,
about
you,
three betting it, but I think shoving here is a little bit aggressive. Our
You
opponent
might
is a
be,
little aggressive here.
I'd say so.
I'm a big fan of three betting king 5, king 6, king 7 here. But if we're looking at like, I did this, which I like 40 big blinds when you're against the button. It's always gonna be you want a 3-bet bluff with king 5, king 6, king 7. And
Look at this. It's cute.
What-
Look at this little cute little graphic you made.
I know, right? And 1 pip ahead, like from the cutoff. Instead of king 5, king 6, king 7, it becomes king 7, king 8, and king 9.
Yeah, I'm looking at PFA's ranges and, apparently there's something magical about king 7.
King 7 is the nuts. It's like
Apparently.
ace king, but you just have a king instead of a. an
Just
ace.
that the Chinese made this program.
King blocker and the 7 unblocks the bottom of the range. I think
Yeah.
it's Probably simple as that. It's
Yeah.
just like. put
Can
it in,
EO
Cross your fingers, hope they
So in
fold.
tournaments where they should raise not with 8 off, but with 9 off from the button, you should go pip higher.
Big. I'm going mucho grande here. You're blocking
What?
the continues. It's a bricky board.
I'm
I'm
very
going big, man.
sorry. I'm very
We're in
sorry. but-
position. We're not using a big bet in position.
6, we are.
maybe some 5.
Or sometimes we do.
No,
Ken, of course.
no.
We're representing an overpair here.
No.
We should be sizing up.
It's a
No.
pair board,
The big blind misses big
a
time.
pair board, which is.
But
bet
it's
small.
twos.
It's low
That's
pair,
small.
so you can bet big.
That's
All right,
small
we
in
gotta-
position.
We gotta slow it down, boys. Okay, so Louis is right. It's just a small bet because of the nature of the pairedness. But there is some 3.3 in there. And,
Oh,
there is some 3.3 in there, but Louis is right.
They're
The
probably
overriding
pocket
thing here
fives, pocket
is,
sixes.
I mean, we
just a
blocked
small
both of
bet.
those.
It's just a small bet.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to
Sorry,
go too
Louis.
crazy. We don't need to go too crazy with our betting. Alright, so. There's two conflicting concepts here.
No,
One
Bet big and
is,
want to bet small.
well, no, just generally, okay? So one, what do we typically do with second pair? Not
Check.
bet it. It's
Check
usually
it,
part of
yeah.
our check range. Concept number two is heuristically 40 big blinds, button versus big blind, ace, queen, two-tone. Heavy bet.
see,
board. Like,
I
we're-
think
Bet range.
personally, heuristic number 1 here.
I
We
bet
close our
range
eyes,
small.
There's an ace on board, button, big blind,
Mm-hmm.
bet range.
Yep.
Small.
I think the board texture heuristic overrides the fact that we're gonna be checking some second pairs here, so I would be betting small as well.
And
I
I
think
would venture to say that this is even the, hang on. Oh no, It's not gonna work.
It might bet slightly bigger than small because we
Beautiful,
don't have a spade.
block cards you have, Louis.
What did I do with it?
I think we've been a little bigger if we had a
Ah, there
spade,
it is.
actually.
This is the number one rule of the GTO. Poker coaching. If there's an ace on board, you should see bet any two.
Yeah, then I think that's a fair rule. I
Fine,
like
it's
the
so
rule.
fast.
I'm a supporter of
Okay.
this rule.
Yeah, me too. I'm on board.
So we bet.
Now, you can actually go mucho
Wow.
grande here. You can go mucho grande here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
that's
I
the
Doesn't have a
nature.
spade.
I'm surprised by the size of the bet that it prefers.
I'm not surprised because there's two Broadway on board and when
Yeah, two
there's two
Broadways.
Broadway, we're gonna like, because it's something that I see more and more here. Like if we look here, just look at the bottom line for starters, okay? You can see like on a sideboard, like these are all the a sideboards, okay? You can see on a sideboards, you're likely to bet small. But then if you look at these here, when there's two Broadway, you like polarize.
You get some,
And
you get some
the
excited
other-
frequencies there.
There's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
other interesting tidbit is the big blind, the queen is the best card, best high card for the big blind is the queen. They have more queens than kings and aces.
So whenever
block
like,
it.
if you look at king eye boards, the king eye break boards, you just range bet small. And then the more it gets to Broadway, like if we look at here, like this is king 8-9, not really, but like more like king 10. King 10, bam, the big size comes in, king queen, big size.
King, queen's good, 'cause he's got a lot of queens, you
King-
can't fold.
Yeah, so whenever there's gonna be two Broadways on the board, very often you wanna bet big with value hands.
And the big
Yeah,
side
like,
too, 2/3.
there's a couple other competing things here is one,
bigger
he's,
than 2/3.
he's starving of ace X. He doesn't have a lot of ace X. Two, like Ken said, his best pairs primarily are gonna be queen X, which we're blocking. We're also blocking ace, king and ace queen, which he just doesn't have in range. So it's like everything he continues with here, we can kind of just put in the box. Pretty hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we also have to think more in a simplified strategy in a way that humans can think. I think with the range betting here, that keeping it small fits more what the range wants to do.
well, if we look at range here, here. It's like probably it's mixing with everything, so.
It's
Usually, the way it does it is gonna pick like the best value hands to size up, like, if you look at your best aces here on this texture. It's all getting greedy with the best aces, right?
A lot of bigger betting.
And then very often it's gonna find like the high lows. Like the polar high lows, because these.
even more big than small, huh?
Especially these, actually. These get better kings to fold. So when you bet big with a hand like king 5, if your opponent has king 6 or king 7, it's likely he folds, so that afterward, if the king comes, it's clean. So that makes a lot of sense, right? But overall, like you're betting a lot small as well, so it's like.
I was
both.
gonna say,
50-50.
to your point, until you like study some more of these spots and have a better understanding of some of these dynamics, a generalized small bet strategy that you can remember,
It's probably
um,
very fine.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be minimal EV loss.
Yeah.
It's just as you get better and you learn, some of these nuances better, implementing a mixed strategy is gonna be more profitable. It's how you, it's the next step of improvement.
Yeah.
I guess is the best
So
way to look at
here,
it.
to sum it up quickly, the best aces are sizing up for value. Some of
Yep.
the 8x, the bottom pairs are bluffing, 2 pair and bottom pair are bluffing. And then the high-low combos that get better kings to fold. And then these are probably a lot of spades, like,
Yeah, spades and hearts probably also.
that's it, pretty much it. So we're gonna bet.
So most of the
small.
other queens bet small, right? Like king, queen's the best queen we can have, and he's gonna defend a lot of queens, so we can get max value, right? But a lot of.
Yeah,
other
the
queens, I
best- the
think, are
best
betting
queens
small.
bet.
Also, another factor we need to consider is the flush draw. Whenever there's a flush draw, usually we size up a little bit more. And we bet a little bit bigger, unless we have the card of the suit. If we have the card of the suit, we don't bet less often, but we bet smaller. And we're very smaller in general. So here we don't have the suit, so we're just inclined to size up and say just for giggles, if we look at here, when you have, see?
It actually wants to go
Yeah,
bigger
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah,
have,
yeah,
when
More
you have
often,
the
Yeah,
spade.
yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Something. It's sizing up more often here with the spade.
But you can see all the other queens, single pair queens are all betting small, other than the king, queen.
But in general, the heuristic is having the card of the suit drives down your bet size and your sizings in general, but here it's the other way. It's
Yeah,
See,
the best aces and best queens want to value bet.
Yeah,
And
to be
the
fair,
value-
Louis, I would have followed the same track that you just did and thought the
yeah,
same
well, if you
thing.
look at like king, jack off here, it's betting all of the ones that don't have a spade.
It's
more.
actually reversed, right? I think it's something special about it being the best.
Yeah.
King, queen being the best one,
Yeah.
that it's kind of like. It's looking for
Is
value,
it
I
because
guess.
of the
more.
SPR as well?
Looking for value, yeah, from worse queens.
The
And from
SPR is
spade
still pretty
calls,
high, Barry,
calls.
so still
Mhm. Let's see what
over
chat
over
says.
than 5, so yeah.
Chat, the difference between this and the homework is a big line, what's right than tournaments. Yeah.
Okay.
You
Just
you
jam it.
raised this. I don't like jamming. I think you're gonna lose some of his like bluffs, not his bluffs, but his like draws that he's trying to protect.
We need to click it and hope, pray
like-
for a queen.
I'm a clicker for sure.
Because the thing is, calling, you wanna call to kind of keep a lot of his hands in, but the problem is if you call here and all of his spades break, you're not getting one more street, whereas they might call here. Same for hearts. So you need to charge spades, hearts, and worse queens here. You need to click it.
Worse ace X also, yeah.
Alright, so I
Like
bet too
that.
big. I mean, I'm definitely raising there. I was just gonna put it all in. I just figured stuff like, yeah, I'm just gonna give up anyway.
No, you wanna click and find.
Yeah, I see the click. I
So-
saw.
There was an iteration of my game where I would have just exclusively jammed that too.
Yeah, we got rid of it.
Yeah, I've worked it out. It's.
Yeah,
it's
me
not
also.
the- It's not the most optimal, cause
Yeah.
you don't have a targeted range anymore if you jam